Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're taking a look at the newly released, newly minted State of Decay 2. So this is a sequel to the original State of Decay that came out back in 2012, 2013, so 4 or 5 years ago now. Came out on the Xbox 360 and the PC as well. I did play a little bit of it, but we're only talking a couple of hours. It was an interesting concept, but it just didn't quite pull me in for whatever reason. I'm trying to remember back to then, but something about it just didn't really kind of pull me in. Maybe we were just a bit oversaturated with zombie everything at the time, zombie media, zombie games especially, so it really did something special. But we don't see too many zombie games now, so it's almost interesting to see a new one. So this is a Microsoft first party game, published obviously by Microsoft Game Studios and developed by Undead Labs, who also made the first one, and it's out on the Xbox One and PC. So before we jump in, I'm going to try and do this with each kind of new release or recently new release, just kind of run through the settings, kind of what I'm running it on, specs of the PC and stuff like that, just so people watching can get a bit of an idea of kind of how it might run on their computers. So I'm actually really impressed with how it's run so far for 2018. We'll call it AA, not AAA, because it's not AAA priced. I wouldn't call Undead Labs a AAA studio, but it is a first party title. It's got pretty decent scope to it, so we'll call it AA, maybe AA plus. So if we jump into video here, I've got everything set just on medium. It did default to high, but I thought I'd just drop it back a bit because it was just looking a bit choppy. So we're currently at medium, pretty much all around 1080p. And just by my eye, I'm seeing anywhere close to 60 FPS pretty much the whole time, which is really nice to see. A few drops here and there, but for the most part, it's really smooth. Haven't got VSync on, haven't noticed any tearing or huge tearing yet. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with how it's running. I'll put the specs of the computer I'm running this on in the description. But it's running on a laptop, which is pretty impressive. Core i5, 1050 Ti, all that good stuff, but I'll put that down below if you're interested in that. So obviously you got your subtitles. It does have multiplayer. I've just switched it offline for this, but you can do 4-player co-op, which I imagine would actually be a lot of fun. I don't currently have anyone who plays this, but if you do, it would be really cool. Controls, obviously, since this is a Microsoft game, you can play it with an Xbox controller, which some people may prefer. I don't. I always like to use mouse and keyboard, but there are some people who do prefer that, so you can change that up here. And you got some tutorials and stuff like that. I'd probably use tutorials in quotation marks. One complaint I've got is that the tutorial doesn't seem very maybe obvious, but that's alright. I've kind of figured it out as you go. So when you start, it gives the option of starting a new community, and for a second that threw me off because what does that mean? But basically a community is, we'll call it a new game. So you can have your community of survivors, which is what it means by that. You can have multiple going at a time. I've just got the one for now. Played about 2 hours. So past the tutorial, done a bit of a setup, got my base going. So it should give you a bit of an idea of kind of what the gameplay is like. So let's go continue, and we'll jump in. So when you start, you get a choice of kind of choosing a pair of characters. Don't think they're randomly generated, and there's about 5 options, and it seemed to have enough detail to be relatively handmade. But anyway, here we are. So this is State of Decay 2. So this is kind of we won't call it the starting area, but it's kind of the first town you visit. This is one of my community members, so you can kind of swap between them, which is quite cool. So you start with your main character, and then once you're all set up, you can kind of jump between your different characters you've got. So this is kind of our home base. I don't really have to close this fence, but I just kind of feel like I should, So this is our home base, the first one we found. Now I think you can start with different ones if you do find another one, but this is the one I ended up choosing anyway. So you've got our main house in here, you've got all your kind of supplies. It's got a really interesting kind of almost base building mechanic to it. Like, it's an odd comparison, but I'd almost compare it to something like XCOM, where you're kind of building like, instead of like your power stations and your research centers and all that, you're now building bedrooms, farms, infirmaries, that kind of stuff. And instead of gathering power, you're gathering resources, and you're having beds for people to sleep in and stuff. So you can see at the top left of the screen, it's got a bit of a rundown on the current situation in our community. So we're not looking too flash actually. So food is negligible. It's not that good, but it's not terrible. Not starving to death quite yet. Next up, we've got medical supplies. That's in fine shape for now. Ammo's all good. We don't have any materials, which is what we need to kind of build different things in here, like the infirmary or the farm that just disappeared for a second. Then we've also got gas, then community members, kind of spare metal, and then that last one is it's called your reputation, or it's basically the resource you use to it's going to buy new outposts and kind of spread your reputation around. Didn't really make it quite obvious what it was to start with, but you do figure it out eventually. Apologies if I got the name wrong. Doesn't really matter in the end, I guess. So you can see our status has actually gone into miserable, so we should probably get this sorted. So we need food. We can actually see here, so what I'll do is jump into the menu here. So you kind of got an overview. This is the game world. So it kind of shows the points of interest. And this is our base here. You kind of start over, I think it was up here. We'll probably make a trip up there sometime soon. This is our kind of zone. So what you've got, obviously you've got quests and stuff like that, but at the top here you've got community. So this is currently everyone in our little household. So we've got 5 of us. So I actually started as this guy, along with this guy who was their kind of buddies when you start. And then we picked up a few others along the way. This spot here is once you've got someone who's kind of high level enough, they can become a leader and you get bonuses for that, but I haven't got quite that far yet. So you've got some details in here. You could jump into each character, kind of see their traits, skills, kind of where they're standing. So citizen is kind of like this, the second level, and you've got a base level. I can't remember what it's called. I think we've just got this girl. So yeah, she's a recruit. So you kind of levels go up as you go. You've also got your health and your stamina, and kind of what the current morale is, and no one's looking very good right now. Frustrated due to low morale. Well, that doesn't look very good. So we need materials and we need food, big time. So I'll probably take Drew out, I think. Let's see. So actually he each got injured. So he's got sprained ankle, concussion, fractured disc. It's not looking too good for him, but he's kind of a main dude and he's got all the good gear, so we might have to take him out anyway. Then the last tab here we've got base. So this is kind of where you can build your base. You can do it from kind of in-game going up to empty spots, but you can do it all through here. So what's wrong with that garden? Doesn't look too flash, does it? Repair. Oh, it's damaged. Alright, well I guess we better repair it. That's why our food dropped down. So this gives us 1 food a month, which would give us back up to 4. Which would hopefully bring us all a bit happier. So we start with the command center. This is basically what's in the house when you get there. So command center, I guess, probably always comes with it. So CS sports 2 outposts, and you can upgrade it to get more. So I've currently just got the 1 outpost, and you can fill extra ones here. This house also happened to have a double bunk and a master bedroom, so it gives us 4 beds, or 6, sorry. No, that's weird. So it says provides 2 beds and then provides 4 beds, but I've got 5 and I'm down 1 bed. Or whatever. Guess I've got 4 beds. And then these extra ones you can build stuff, so you're required to build an infirmary to start the game. So we've got one of those. I also built a garden to get some food, and we've got one empty spot here which you can build things. Like here you've got crafting things, forges, auto shop, you've got health things you can build, so more beds, more infirmaries, barracks. Obviously you can build your food, water distillery, farms. There's actually a lot of stuff you can do. It's pretty in depth, which is quite cool if you're kind of into that base building kind of mechanics. Build a latrine, that'd be a nice job for someone. And you've got your defensive stuff like generators, rain collector, fun. Also here, I've got any active effects going on, so this is kind of what's making everyone all sad. So our morale's a bit in the toilet right now, so people are frustrated because there's no materials, no food, no beds, but luckily everyone's happy because my main dude knows a lot of TV trivia, so that's good. And lastly you got threat level, so the higher the threat level, it means you're kind of more at risk from zombie attack. Cool side note, the game actually calls them zombies. You find most games, you know, kind of a bit coy of calling them actual zombies. They call them, you know, Zeds or whatever, but even though this game does call them Zeds, it also calls them zombies, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to swap to Drew here, so you can talk to your crew members. I am going to switch this character and initiate the mission, cover classic. Yeah, that's fine. Probably stay with Drew for this this video here. So he's kind of got my good gear. He's got a big bag, so you can press I to open your inventory. So you can place the backpack out. I've currently got a hiking pack, which gives me 8 slots to fill it in. You got your 2 pockets. Interesting way the game handles weapons. So you've always got a kind of little close combat weapon. So if you lose your, say, your main melee or it gets damaged and you don't have a gun, you're out of ammo, you've always got this to kind of go back on. This is your gun slot. So I've got a pistol. That last guy had a sniper rifle, and then for my melee slot I've got a hatchet that's somewhat damaged. So we might look to find a new one of those later on. So you don't really equip weapons, you've just always got them in your slot, and then if you left click you attack with your melee, and if you hold right click you aim down the sights of your pistol. So it's kind of an interesting idea, and it generally works well. I haven't had too many concerns with it. Alright, so we're leaving here. Fine, we'll leave the gate open. Alright, let's get into combat. So, I wouldn't say combat's complex, but it is satisfying. They're always trying to get in. Oh geez, are they in the base? Yeah, I shouldn't have left the gate open. Oh man, this isn't good. My health's quite low. So there is a sound kind of meter in the game, so you don't want to make too much noise, or you'll get kind of zombies coming onto your position. Now this is what happens if you run out of stamina. You look like a high schooler who's had a pack too many Pringles, and you just start going very slow, very sluggish. Oh, don't want to shoot my own guy. So if you're kind of sprinting too much, or kind of trying to attack too much, you'll become like this, and you'll just start falling over everyone. And that wasn't good, didn't it? It didn't really give me a prompt or anything. I guess we'll fight these guys off, and then we'll actually do our mission. Yeah, I don't like using the gun too much, but I think it's kind of necessary right now. You might have noticed that these zombies have red eyes. They're what's called plague zombies. So if you get kind of damaged by enough of those plague zombies, you'll see that meter at the bottom left. If that fills up, you'll get a virus, and you basically need to cure it, or you'll turn into a zombie, and you can either choose to cure it, or if they're too far gone, you can kind of euthanize people in your community, which is a bit rough, but you know, these things have to be done. So I'm just going to grab a bit of supplies here. So you've got a supply locker which kind of houses your community's resources that you can gather outside. So I'm just going to grab some painkillers. Probably don't need that many. And pop those. So because of my injuries, you'll see bottom left where I've got health, it's got that grey bar after the red, so that means my health is permanently kind of stunted to about half until I can fix my injuries, which I believe would be done in the infirmary. So anything flashing like this you can search, and you get the option to hold E and you'll slowly search it, or quite a cool idea, you can actually hold shift while you're pressing E and it will search faster, but there's a chance that you'll kind of, I guess, stumble, search too fast, and it'll make a really loud noise that attracts zombies. So it's kind of a cool idea of, you know, not wanting to search fast and the risk of attracting zombies to your location, but also it is way faster, so sometimes you've just got to get that done. I'm probably going to look to find a new weapon here, but
Screamer, how fantastic.
There you go. So he's told you about a Screamer. So you played zombie games before. You've got your special zombies, you've got your screaming zombies, you've got your bloated zombies, you've got your fast zombies. So Screamers, basically when they scream, zombies come. Great. Alright, so let's give a look at the map here and see where we need to go. So I'm actually going the complete wrong way. So I need to go up here. So we've got a car up there from near the start of the game. And that ran out of fuel, so I'm going to bring some fuel back to it and drive it back to the base. It's also got some resources and stuff in it. So in addition to kind of carrying stuff in your backpack, you can also carry what's called a rucksack. So there'll be rucksacks around the world with specific resources in them, so you'll find, say, rucksacks of materials or medical supplies or food and stuff like that. You can always carry one of those at a time, but it does kind of slow your stability regen. What it actually does is make everything cost, I think, double stability. Not stability, what am I talking about? Stamina. Where's my marbles here? Yeah, so double stamina. So you won't be able to sprint for as long, fight for as long, that kind of stuff. So probably don't need to fight these zombies. We kind of just sneak around. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. There's some food back there too, so I might take the car up there once I've filled it up. So in the inventory we've got a gas can, so I should be able to fill the car up and then drive it. What we might look at here too, no, I guess I better fight this guy, I guess. So you can see my weapon at the bottom right is red, which means it can't be used, so I'm currently using my backup weapon. Yeah, as you can see, it's suitably gory for a zombie game. I was going to talk about kind of the graphic style. Obviously it's not, it's not going to be the greatest graphically looking game to release of all time. I mean, looks like it could have come out of 2014, but it doesn't look bad. Especially this is medium settings, like it runs really well. The style I think works for the kind of game it's looking to do. Obviously there's a bit of muddy textures and stuff like that, but it looks fairly good. Some nice sun rays and stuff when you're dawn and dusk. So yeah, no huge complaints. If the performance sucked, I'd probably complain a bit more, but it's, as you can see, it's running really smoothly. So no big issues there. So when you climb up to something like this, you've also got like radio towers and stuff like that. If you played any Ubisoft games, you'll be familiar with those. So you can climb up here, and at the top you can say it says aimed into survey mode. So if you climb up to one of these and then aim, you'll see all these markers pop up in your map. You can kind of look at them. I've looked at these already, but if we find one we haven't looked at, there may not actually be any. Basically they'll show as unsearched, and you look at them for a few seconds, and then it will unlock that on your map and show you what it is. So it's kind of good to get a bit of an idea of what's around you. But yeah, we've looked at all this, so that's fine. I'll go back down the ladder here. So let's go down to our car and see. Oh, that would have been bad. Controls generally pretty good. That's probably the only once or twice when that was weird. I was holding S and I'm still going up. So yeah, that's probably the only complaint. Then the odd, yeah, funny thing, but nothing hugely problematic. Nice little zombie. If you knock a zombie to the ground like this, you can kind of do an execute to take them out without having to go through the whole combat scenario. Alright, so let's refill our car here, so you can just go up to it. We've got it in the inventory, so we'll hold E and we'll just fill that up. Then we can take it back to our base. We've got 2 parking spots in our current outpost. I've got 1 car there already, so I'll look to park this one there as well. And we've actually got a lot of stuff here. So we've got a case of honey, which is good. 2 cans of food. Well, they're all food actually. So we've got 3 rucksacks of food that'll solve our food crisis. So got some painkillers in there. Might as well put all this stuff in here so we can kind of fill up later on. Might just get rid of that. I guess one thing I have run into is that the inventory is kind of, I mean, it's not bad, but it's just a couple of funny things. Like if you've got a weapon here and that's full, and you've got a weapon here, you can't like switch between them as far as I've seen without having to like have a free spot, move that out, and then move another one in. Not a huge issue, but just kind of little things that stand out, I guess, when the rest of the kind of inventory and the UI is fairly good. Car controls are not too bad. Then nothing amazing, but for a AA+ zombie game that doesn't cost full price, by the way. Here it costs 40 Canadian, so that's fairly decent. Yeah, car controls are quite good.
Yeah, I like this.
So this is actually somewhere we can set up an outpost. So I do actually have the points for it, so I might do that. So if you remember back to our base, we can have 2 outposts. We currently have none. So this one will give us 1 food a day, supply locker, and a safe area. And I've got the resources for it. So I think I will. Let's do it. Let's claim this outpost.
The outpost is up and running.
Cool, so this is now a safe area. So at the bottom left on the map it's become grey instead of red, which means we won't get kind of zombie spawns in this immediate area. They can still come from outside, but we shouldn't get any and kind of in spawning in the area. So we do get access to the supply locker, which is quite nice. And let's drop those in. Get rid of that. But we do really want to take this car back so we only can drop the rucksacks at the home base. So unless we've got seeds are good, we can grow food with that. Yeah, nothing much else here. But if we go to the map screen, you can see we've now got that food outpost here. So basically, it just gives us more food, and we can swap characters and access the locker with safety. So good. People are they're only depressed, they're not miserable, so that's always good. Yeah, we'll leave him. Alright, so let's take this car back and go drop some stuff off. So here's a parking spot. So you see I've got one car there already, which I found, so we'll park this guy. Actually, no, that's not a parking spot. It must be next to this one, I guess. Not as obvious. That's a wee cute wee thing. Someone can climb onto your car, but you can do. It's got pretty nice drifting, so you can kind of drift around like that and slam them into objects or reverse them into a wall or something. It's quite nice. I guess this one's going to fit 2 cars into this one tiny spot. Is that the case? State of Decay? It's not really obvious, but it's not going to let me out. Okay, let's just show off my parking skills. Live on camera here. Move this guy. Because it definitely says I've got 2 spots, and this is the only obvious one, so let's load this guy in here. Okay, and we'll park this guy. There's enough room for 2. So that shows I now have 2, I presume. Yep, sweet. Oh, that's only 1. God, I don't know. Yeah, it's just to bring it back a bit. One last try. There we go. Let's try that. Nope. Who cares? Not me. So let's grab these rucksacks. I can only take one at a time. So let's take them in. I suppose you've got to drop them at the top floor. Or I think you can build a facility that lets you throw it in. So food's getting better. Still don't have any materials.
Drop off successful.
So we'll drop that in. And we can drop in our kind of our little inventory items as well. So we'll drop in these things we found. And we'll just grab the other ones here. So it's quite a satisfying loop, I guess, outside of the missions and stuff like that. It is quite nice just to, go out, search for stuff and take it in. I don't know if any of you played the original Dead Island, but it's kind of how I envisioned that game to be at the start, and then it turned out to not be that at all. By one of the first couple of missions, they had you driving out to a gas station to pick up boxes of water, I think. It was just quite fun, taking a car out there, loading it up, and then fighting through some zombies and then getting back. So that game kind of covers, if you're wanting that very specific niche, that game covers this quite well. So let's drop this last one in here. I wonder if I can heal my wounds at the infirmary. Alright, so we've got a ton of food now. So if we look at the map, we can see to find materials. So if you've searched or got a bit of an idea of places that might tell you what's available, so scrap. I want to find kind of potential resources, materials. Okay, so that's some. So that might have materials. So let's set a marker there. Oops. And we'll see if we can't find some materials there, because we can't really build anything until we've got that done. Let's see if we can fix our ailments as well. Medical help. Treat active character. Yeah. Cool. There we are. Done. So health back to full. Does use a medical supply, so we probably want to try and resupply some of those. We've got 4 rounds. Maybe I'll grab a couple more before we head out. That's a bit annoying. If you sprint up the stairs, I've had that happen a few times, it'll just vault you over. Probably just down to me not knowing how to use a keyboard though.
We are not going to last long.
So this pistol takes 9mm. So 45. We don't have any 9mm. A pistol that takes 45. Takes 22. Oh, we've got 9mm. That's all good. Yeah, tons. Alright. So let's go. And we'll go see if we can't find some materials. So we'll probably just go on foot, I think. I think it's too far. 120 meters. Yeah, we'll just go by foot. So far, kind of stability-wise, like I said, the frame rate's been really solid. Relatively, anyway. Haven't had really any huge hiccups. I have had a couple of like hard crashes, full like to desktop crashes, which was kind of weird. I had one which was basically right when I first booted up, so maybe I can forgive that one. First time startups and all that. They had another one probably an hour into playing it where I was just in the menu, clicked something, didn't work, and then crashed the desktop. But haven't had it since, so maybe just an anomaly? Not really sure though, kind of weird. But yeah, apart from that, it's been real solid. So obviously get your wee flashlight. Wee funny thing I noticed, it's obviously set in one place, but it kind of moves with your mouse until you get to a certain spot, and then it kind of like goes back to normal. Kind of a funny wee thing. So we're going to find some materials. So this could be an outpost too. Once you have enough points, this gives us one material per day. That might be a good thing to do eventually. Let's have a look here. Let's do the fast searching. Oh, no. So, pretty sure it's just guaranteed to spawn a couple of zombies where you are. But you can see it is like a lot faster. So, oh, get out of the way here. I got a few. Probably take him. This guy's quick, so maybe we'll get him first. It would be better if I had my better melee, but whatever. This will do for now. You've got to be dodge button too, so C to dodge, space for jump and vault over objects and stuff like that. Yeah, man, this isn't going too well at all. Okay, you're dead. Yeah, you gotta be done. This melee weapon isn't that good. Yeah, I think they did the zombie combat pretty well. Kind of one enemy you can handle quite easily. It's normally never a problem. But you know, even when you get kind of stuck in like 2 or 3, depending on the situation, it can actually get a bit difficult. In groups, they're definitely a lot more of a challenge than you may think. They come at you from behind and stuff like that. What have we got? Melee weapon. Perfect. So we'll re-equip that. So now we've got this nice wee thing. So you can't really just hold it out. He just puts it away eventually. So whatever. So you can kind of hold shift on and off. Oh, both at the end, really? Alright, let's take that. Alright, you did. It's a lot better. There is dismemberment, but it's not controlled by you, so it is just kind of random. And you may slice off an arm or two, and just kind of randomly how it goes. God, I really need some materials.
Like they say, fortune favors the bold.
There we go, rucksack materials. Alright, so if we look at inventory, you can see it takes the rucksack spots. You've always got that. Facility breakdown lack materials. We should definitely get this back then. Alright. One cool thing I found out is that if you say, because obviously you can only take one rucksack at once, if you have one filled up, you can see it's on your back now, and you find another one, that you can kind of break it down, and there'll be a random amount of items in there. I think it's like 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 or something. So if you desperately need to get it back and you can't just go back home and then make another trip, you can like break it into separate items and just chuck them in your inventory, but you will lose out on some that's in there. So you can see it just said cardio max level. So with these skills here, they kind of just level up as you go. So cardio you just get by sprinting and climbing, fighting, hand to hand, pretty obvious stuff. But you can specialize them, so you can see this discipline one, which is originally was stamina, I believe. I specialized it to discipline, so it goes back down to 0 stars, and you can choose kind of 1 of 2 options. So this one gives me kind of increased stamina, gives me a lower encumbrance limit, and improves my weapon durability. I can't remember what the other option was, but they're kind of two options you can choose to spec your character and obviously this is per person. So if I choose, say, pick up Rodriguez or whoever else in my community, they'll have different skills and traits and stuff like that. And you can find new people along the way, and lose people too, whether you are euthanizing them or maybe they just get killed. So you can see our materials are up to 5, so that's good. So people are stable, that's great. So we probably want to repair that facility, and it's going to cost us, is it 2 materials? No, maybe not. Oh, whatever it cost us. And garden is going right now. So you can kind of improve, like, you know, say, but this will boost 50% garden yield for 1.5 hours, alright? But you've got to get some knowledge of how to garden. So you can kind of spec people into have, like, you know, this person always stays back at your base and they kind of manage the garden, or this person always goes out on missions because they've got, you know, great stamina and really good hand-to-hand, stuff like that. So you can kind of build your community around what you want them to be able to achieve. Let's see if we can't build anything else. We do need more beds. So we could build 2 outdoor beds. So we'll give us a morale penalty, but I presume the penalty is not as much as the penalty is for just not having enough beds. So I'm going to do that. So that'll give us a couple more beds. Cool. So let's go out for one more little look here. But yeah, so far, like I said, played a couple of hours before this. I played 2.5 hours or so now. Impressions are pretty solid. Just, you know, got my hooks into me a wee bit. The kind of the grind of, you know, getting stuff for your base and that kind of loop is, you know, quite interesting for me, and I'm sure a lot of people out there as well. That was a quick one. So yeah, it's good concept, executed fairly well, not too expensive. So yeah, like I said, $40 Canadian, or 60 for the deluxe edition, which I think, among other things, gave you access a few days ago. Otherwise, full release was today. Probably gave you some, you know, little DLC, soundtrack, maybe a digital art book, all the rest of it. But yeah, so not AAA price, which is quite nice. I'm sure Microsoft maybe would have wanted to, but maybe not the best idea. And yeah, available on Xbox One and Windows 10. Windows 10 only, so if you're still using Windows 7, you won't be able to play Access on the Windows Store. And it is one of those games where if you kind of buy it on PC, you'll be able to play it on Xbox on that same account as well. So it is free with Game Pass, so much like Sea of Thieves was. I think it's all first-party Microsoft games are going to be free with Game Pass. So this is an Xbox Game Pass account, loaded on PC, and then after I will probably continue playing this on the Xbox. Hopefully it runs just as well. Oh, let's end this person. Nice. Yeah, suitably gory. Cool. But yeah, so that's State of Decay 2. Thanks for watching. You can pick it up today, and we'll see you next time.